So I'm assuming if you clicked on this video, you know who Tofia is. And for that reason, I won't be going into her past or her major controversies and any of that sort of stuff. More than anything, it's going to be an analysis of her current situation and if I believe that Tofia could turn it around. So I guess the first best step is to essentially figure out where she is right now. Now, if you keep up with the Tubers, then you know that Tofia is still living in the motel and is still unemployed, which is very characteristic of Tofia now. But I feel like her mental health has been declining more and more, and her health as well. The other big important thing is that the most recent big event, I would say, is that her TikTok live stream access got permanently banned on her main account, which led to one of the craziest public crash outs I've ever seen, with the highlights being that she was essentially baiting self deletion and just overall crashing out.
I've been working hard and people don't see that. The thing about it is the only reason why I'm here and I'm alive is because I don't have a way to take my life. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here if I had a way.
Recently, she's also been getting the attention of other TikTok content creators that have actually been trying to give her some good advice to make the influencer social media game actually work and pay her bills. But Tofia always takes criticism, like genuine criticism, always takes it in a bad way, which, by the way, I'll just say that shows the level of emotional maturity someone has, because if someone is giving you any type of criticism, just take it, and then if it doesn't work in your life, then obviously be like, no. And if it does, then you take it and you accept it. And these people don't ever come at her in a really bad or toxic way, and she just writes them off as critics, like as bad haters, you know what I'm saying? And she goes off on like tangents on these people, usually bringing up their race, which is something that Tofia does all the freaking time. And can I just say, there's nothing wrong with talking about race, of course, or religion, sexual orientation. These conversations need to be had, but when you use it to get out of a situation, or you always want to bring into the conversation, you're gonna hurt actual conversations that need to be had. And I don't think Tofia realizes that. And I kind of have the same trope when she does the stuff with Gaza. She is always going on about how this creator hasn't talked about it, that creator hasn't talked about it. But Tofia, do you actually understand what's going on in Gaza and what's going on in Palestine and why we've been fighting for years for Palestine to be free? And no, I don't think she does. And I can't stand that. I can't stand people who will just pull at stuff and be like, ha, and it's like, now we can't even have a genuine actual conversation when we need to have genuine honest conversations. She also had this really weird moment where she went on her TikTok story and she was crying about how she really wanted a patty melt or cheeseburger, and she made it seem like she was like starving.
We can't afford lunches. I'm starving. And it sucks because I see other people getting cash apps and buying like DoorDash almost every single day, eating what they want. I wish I could eat some pizza from somewhere, or chicken wings. I just want a patty melt from Whataburger. I'm starving, hungry.
We have lunch. She just doesn't like what we have for lunch. Thank you.
Mom, can you not?
We have lunch.
This girl is delusional.
I found that so ridiculous. And so I guess what all these main events, and from what we can currently see in Tofia's life, like the live stream access being permanently banned, would most likely, for most people, would be a sign like, wow, okay, so maybe I should get a job. Her desire to get patty melts and burgers or whatever fast food could be a sign that I should maybe get a job if I want those things. Like the one other one I didn't get is like she had said, "Oh, I really want to start rhinestoning and I wish there was a place where we can go and get money to fulfill those dreams." And it's like, yeah, there is a place, a job.
I looked up rhinestones, right? Because I was thinking on rhinestoning pop figures and, selling them because I want to do something on my life that's like, like the makeup's productive, right? But in a sense, I want something that really helps me take my mind off of, the dark thoughts, the depression, and stuff like that. Finding something for me that's exciting to do. I don't have the funds or the means to do it. I really wish there was like a place where you could go to collect money and use it to put towards that, because it's more depressing when you can't do things that you want to try, like new things like rhinestoning or making the bead pens. I don't know. I'm just so.
This girl is delusional.
So, with those events being highlighted, I think it leaves us in a good spot with some good groundwork to answer the question of this video. Could Tofia actually change for the better? All right, so I think one of the first things that Tofia would have to change, and the most clear answer, would obviously be getting a job. Now, if you know anything about Tofia's history with jobs, Tofia's only really had two jobs, it seems. The first one being, well, we actually don't know if she actually worked it. It seems like some time ago she got accepted or maybe worked at a Goodwill. Now, this is found through her Instagram if you scroll back enough. And the other one is actually a little bit more, there's more of a record, I guess you would say, and that's when she worked at Dunkin' Donuts. So she worked here back in 2018, and essentially, she said she got fired because of bad hygiene.
Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way.
No, I never said I got fired for hygiene.
So the day I got fired, she had said I had hygiene issues. So I have my forehead itching now. I don't know. She said she had issues.
Electric chair.
Well, anyways, I do believe that if Tofia ended up getting a job and actually getting some income in her life, she could actually really turn around her life. More importantly, she could get out of Motel True. But we know that this is something that Tofia really is against. Tofia has gone on the record saying that it would hurt her mentally to even get a 9 to 5.
You know what? Some of you guys are so unoriginal. Stop with the get a job. I'm not gonna get a job. I'm not.
You know what would happen if I ever worked a 9 to 5 job again and hated my life? I would do exactly what those kids did and leap off of a roof.
I'm still not getting a job. So, people saying like, oh, now you have to get a job. No, I don't. I still don't have to get a job. Still on social media, still not gonna have to get a job. I get offline and have no job because I'm in fear of being fired from a job or take my life.
This girl is delusional.
There's a lot of adults who are fully able to and fully should have a job say things like, I don't want to get a job because I think it's going to be super hard. And it's like, well, newsflash, no one likes going to work. Now, my suggestion, like, I guess I'm acting like Tofia's life coach here, would be obviously, I don't think she could have a full time job. I think she just wouldn't be able to, like, capably have it. And also, whenever you want to actually change your life and start things, you need to start with small steps. You know, for example, if you want to start running a marathon, you don't start with, going out and running 26 miles, right? You start off pretty simple, like walking and running until you can fully run for a while. Then, you move progressively up. And so, this is something I would absolutely recommend to Tofia would be getting a part-time job. But I just don't see that happening, and unless she actually starts to put in some work into her video content, and I mean there's so many things she could do. I mean, for someone who doesn't have a job, this is some of the most lazy content. She needs to start making some actually good genuine content for TikTok. May I even suggest bringing back the boss's daughter stuff. And I'm not even saying any of this because I'm like a fan of the boss's daughter content, but at least there was some genuine effort and some actual work put into this stuff. And she needs to be putting stuff on YouTube and just overall putting a lot more effort if she wants to make this a reality. And it doesn't seem like she actually does, because if someone, really wanted to make influencing, making video content creation their job, they would be putting in way more effort. So I guess in this aspect, I don't see Tofia changing. I don't think she would ever get a job, which kind of does suck. Next thing that Tofia would have to make a change to make her life a lot better would be obviously her health. Now, it's not no secret that Tofia has never had an actual good diet. I like how recently I saw she brought up the fact that the only reason she eats unhealthy is because she doesn't have an access to a kitchen, which when she had an access to a kitchen, she was always making like unhealthy recipes, like frying things in lard, eating things with a lot of sugar and a lot of fat and stuff. And I mean, it's like, okay, that's not an excuse. And overall, I just feel like her life would be a lot more better. And this is for anyone. Your life is just so much better when you are healthier, both of body and mind. And I don't know. I don't think I would ever see Sophia actually making a change in this as well. I mean, health wise, for someone again who doesn't have a job, she could literally be spending time at least walking outside. There's this clip that I've seen, and it's not a very popular clip, but she goes ahead and discusses what type of health problem she is facing right now, and it is pretty crazy.
Man, I'm so exhausted. Every time I wake up, it's like I'm a walking zombie. It's like I never get enough sleep. I don't know what it is. I'm always tired all the time. I can't go a day without not being sleepy, if that makes sense. I'm tired all the time. I know there's something wrong. There's something wrong. Like I had really bad knee pain, right? And it's hard for me to do a lot of things. Like back pain. I have like I don't know, I get this like really bad back pain when I walk long distances, and I shouldn't be, like I should be able to walk fine without having issues, without having to take Advil when I lay on my back. Um, I can't lay for too long because it hurts. And I've noticed I can't lift my arms up for too long. That hurts too. And also the back pain.
All right, so from that clip, we gathered that obviously Tovia is going through a lot of health problems, and I totally forgot to bring this up in the last clip, but I totally forgot this lady drinks like so much soda, and we know that soda is like probably the one of the worst things you can drink. Now I can't even judge because I love like Diet Coke, but regardless, pretty sure this woman probably drinks like 5 cans of Mountain Dew for like one bottle of water. Like she's probably having 5 Mountain Dews and then like one water bottle. And we know that diet is a huge contributor to feeling sluggish and feeling like not the best. And I know Tofia always likes bringing up the fact that they don't have like a kitchen in the motel, but like I've seen her review a air fryer, so the magic of an air fryer is you can just throw some meat, some veggies in there, and you can have a way healthier uh dinner or lunch or third lunch. Anyways, the thing I want to say is that she could also be helping herself a lot. She talks about how she's having back problems and knee problems, and a lot of that has to do with being severely overweight. We know that your body isn't supposed to carry that much amount of weight, and I myself once upon a time used to be severely obese. I'm pretty sure I was probably as big as Sophia. But that's not the point. The point being is that I once was in this girl's shoes, and I can just say that your diet is a huge contributor. I used to always feel tired, exhausted, and when you don't exercise as well, you start facing a lot of those problems. So, Sophia should just try to at least walk 15 minutes a day and, you know, go outside of Motel True a bit more, you know? Just go on TikTok shop, get yourself like a big ass black hoodie, some sunglasses, put on some boss's daughter cosplay and go walk, you know. There should be no reason that you are staying cooped up all day in that motel. And as a matter of fact, you could vlog that and you could be making content. Like I will start a second career as a life coach, honestly. And honestly, I do kind of see maybe she could make this change. I like hope maybe at least she could start walking. Eating healthier, I don't think so. Losing weight, don't think so. But I think that her actually going outside and having some walks and maybe adjusting her diet just a little bit. Like I said, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. And when you want to change your life, you got to do small steps. Now, the final step, and I think the most important thing that Sophia needs to fix to actually get a better life, is her mental health. Now, I feel like she is not helping her own mental health problems by staying cooped up, being terminally online, and I think Sophia's personally, this is my personal opinion. I'm not a psychologist by any means. I think that the biggest problem Sophia has are two major ones. She has a negative mindset and she has a victim mentality. If you ever stumbles up across this video, you don't ever have to react to hate. You can choose to ignore the hate and move on. Like doing things like bringing up people's dead relatives, saying racist things back, throwing stones, but then she'll cry a victim and say, I keep getting hated on. Why do I get hate? It's like one fact that you have to accept is if when you want to make content, video creation, posting things publicly, let that be music or videos or content, you have to accept that you're going to get some amount of hate. You know, there's a reason why people say one of the biggest things you need is, not a certain camera, not a certain microphone, but you need to have thick skin to be posting on social media is because people you will get hate no matter what. But one of the great powers of, saying things is that you can choose to react or not. And you can choose to just ignore it and keep it pushing. But Sophia never chooses that. And I feel like that's a major problem with most locales. Like that's the biggest problem I see is that they will go ahead and just like make the hate worse. And sometimes when you choose to react to hate or react to certain things, you just amplify the problem. And Tovia does not help herself by, at least trying to ignore it. And personally, look, I'm not a person who watches Sophia's live streams because I mean, recently it's been like gaming, which was boring. So I was kind of glad when she got permanently banned. So it meant no gaming. But then she will go ahead and like I'll go on a live stream because I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should watch one. She'll say something crazy or something. And it'll be interesting to watch. But this woman just will spend the whole time arguing, arguing, and just let's for example talking bad about Shorty Bay, stuff like this. And it's like, why even do all that? You're just making stuff 10 times worse for yourself. You just need to stop like beating into hate. And she like takes the bait all the time. And I think that's her biggest problem. And when I say she has a negative mind, that's what I mean. Just always so focused on the hate and stuff. And the thing is, surprisingly, Dofia has some supporters. And if she just tried to keep it pushing, stayed positive, I feel like it would just do her so much justice. And I know that's hard when all you see is hate, but if you want to be an influencer, you want to change the world, whatever this is, then you have to understand that this comes part of it. After all those recommendations, do I think that Tofia could actually change your life? And honestly, I don't think so. So much of the research in this video, I guess, like I didn't do that much. I keep up with Tofia. I have just seen that Tofia has probably one of the worst mindsets I've ever seen about life, about anything, honestly. Like, she is just so stuck in the negativity of her life that I really don't ever see her changing. And I hope that at least in this video, I at least gave some tips and tricks to some people that, you don't have to stay in the place that you are in life. Just because, your cards were dealt some certain way, doesn't mean you have to stay in that way. One of my favorite quotes in life is by Glorilla. You know what she says? Um, not every day is gonna be a good day, but that's why I love tomorrow. Something to that extent. And I think that Sophia has just not had a lot of successful things in her life, and I think that has led her to having this defeatist and just overall bad attitude. But I will say to give her some glimmer of hope. I think that if she had at least listened to some advice, which she has just never been open to, she could actually change her life. She really could. She could really turn things around. But for now and for the foreseeable future, I just don't see any change happening.
Sophia put peanut butter on her crotch. To her, she would lick it. Okay?